how are you?
Hello.
Good to see you.
You too, Martin.
You all
Thank
right?
you. Yeah, welcome to Glenara.
Oh, it's good
Very
to be here.
welcome.
Brilliant.
Stormy day.
You brought the water.
Just absolutely fantastic having Martin here today with me. This is my area of Glenara. I think, really having him here plus Oliver's MLA seat coming here really gives the village a great boost. A lot of people's very, very happy to see him in. We have 3 candidates running the Glens, so we're hoping to get them in really in the first count, all 3. But if not, we'll get the 3rd one in the 2nd. It's just great. It gives the village a great boost.
Hello, Mrs. How are you? You well?
And this is my other daughter, Mary.
How are you? How are you? You all right?
Yes, I am indeed.
How are you doing? You all right?
It keeps us all busy and off the streets, So
Very good. Good man. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Owen. Good man. Everybody will be shocked that I've just been presented by what I heard from Owen Patterson.
Yeah.
The real Owen Patterson.
Not the Secretary of State now.
Right, Owen, thank you.
All the best, Mark.
Good man.
Martin there.
Hey Martin, how are you?
How are you doing?
Not
Nice
too
to
bad.
see you. You well?
Not too bad.
That's good. How you
Martin,
doing?
how are you?
Connor, good to see you.
Very well.
You all right?
Yes.
How's business?
Well, not this time of year. Yeah.
Summertime's your time, really.
Well, it's the time that people come to.
The main issues around here is dereliction and lack of facilities here. For example, here the GAA here, it costs them thousands of pounds a year to take young people out to facilities in the winter time. Now we need more facilities in here for young people here. We talk about antisocial behaviour. It's down to sheer boredom. There's nowhere for them to go. Tourism is a big thing here as well. And just recently the local council here, Larne Council, has cut the tourist budget. And it's unbelievable, but what they're giving to Carnough for tourism is £750 a year. So that gives you an idea of the neglect of tourism, for example. Jobs is another thing. Student fees is another thing. All of these things adds into this area here has been greatly neglected over the years, and this is what we're finding on the doorstep. And the people want to know where the elected reps are when they do get elected. And it's one thing that we are making very, very plain to them, that if we get elected, we will be here to work.
I think the first thing to say about the Glens of Antrim is that they are absolutely magnificent. And I've been around every part of Ireland, and I've been to Kerry and Connemara, Galway, Dublin, Wexford, Waterford, and the Glens of Antrim are as beautiful as anywhere you could hope to see on this island. Absolutely phenomenal. That raises the whole question of what I think is one of the biggest issues in the constituency, and that has been the failure to exploit the natural beauty that exists here. You can see travelling around that there is some discontentment about the focus on the Giant's Causeway. People feel that, and I think that is, a place of beauty also to be exploited in the interest of our people. But you can see that people think that it has been catered for to the exclusion of other parts of the constituency. So I think that quite clearly there is a job of work for any incoming Enterprise, Trade and Investment Minister and Culture, Arts and Leisure Minister in relation to seeing what more can be done to support these communities. I mean, you travel to places like Cushendall and Carlock and they talk about tourist buses coming here and basically only stopping for 10 minutes to take a photograph at the harbour and travelling on. So the local community really doesn't get any great benefit out of it. So I think more needs to be done to ensure that the tourism potential of this area is exploited to the full, which it clearly isn't being at the moment. Obviously, like everywhere else, all over the island of Ireland against the backdrop of the recession, you can't see how that has bit in very deeply to communities and small towns with businesses closing, blank frontages. All of that I think is dispiriting for people, so I think that in times of economic stress people would like to think that there is going to be more governmental support to overcome some of the challenges that the recession presents for them, particularly in a rural environment. So unemployment too is obviously an issue, the whole issue of work for the construction industry. A lot of people in this area would work in the construction industry, so that's a problem. And I think that it is undoubtedly an area of great potential, but that potential has not been exploited to the full by government agencies, and I think that's a big issue to be dealt with in the future.
Don't you worry about this, Jane.
Oh, that's all right.
I'm an expert. I have 5 grandchildren, and I have 4 of my own,
I have 7.
so I know how to hold them.
You're well used to it. We're all well used to it.
Jesus, save us our own houses.
Well, I think, like all political parties, when you go into an election, you want to come out with the strongest possible vote. And I think the message quite clearly to the electorate is that the work of the last number of years hasn't happened by accident, and everybody is prepared to acknowledge that there has been historic progress in relation to the end of the war and the much more united approach by politicians and the community who want to move forward to a better future. So I think that people credit us in Sinn Féin for being at the heart of that process. And I think that if people want that process to continue, then it's quite obvious that they should give their votes to Sinn Féin, because we won't let them down. The votes that they give us, the extra seats that we may win in this election, are votes and seats that we will use for the further development of the peace process and the ongoing engagement with our unionist counterparts, joining together with them in what is a really big battle on behalf of the community, a battle that can be fought together against the worst effects of the world recession, unemployment, and the need to ensure that, as well as developing our economy, we stand by the poorest and most disadvantaged within our community. So I think that, people's votes are not wasted. If they think they're wasted, then they're making a big mistake. It's very important that people cast their vote, and cast their vote for what I consider to be the most progressive party in the election, and that's Sinn Féin.